Honey, no. Honey, no. You're not right. I hope you got it in this time. I hope you got it in this time. I hope you got it in this time. I hope you got it in this time.
Yeah, so that's how we do it to the Clean Fresh song. We have from 99.9, the voice of the brother Eiffel as well, alright? Yes, sir. One of the vocalists as well. Next to me, I have a vocalist as well. So, are you ready? You ready? You ready for the freestyle?
After the news.
After the news. All right, I'll be waiting until next year, I should say. That's how we do it to the Clean Fresh song with from 99.9. It's top of the hour of 3 p.m. It's time for news at 3. All right?
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is moving closer to redeveloping Little Tokyo in Kingstown. Minister of Urban Development, the Honorable Benava Brown, says design plans are well advanced and will soon be taken to Cabinet for approval. Speaking with the Agency for Public Information, Minister Brown said consultations have been held with key stakeholders, including shop owners and bus operators, and the proposal will outline short, medium, and long-term development strategies. The minister explained that the design envisions a more organized vending space, rental shops, facilities to accommodate buses, and even increased parking capacity for the capital city. The project forms part of the government's wider plan for the full rehabilitation of Kingstown. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has joined fellow Alban nations in condemning what they describe as renewed aggression by the United States against Latin America and the Caribbean. In a statement following its 13th Extraordinary Summit held virtually, the Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of Our America, ALBA, said the actions of the United States amount to a flagrant violation of international law and a threat to regional peace. ALBA leaders reaffirmed their commitment to the 2014 CELAC proclamation of Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace. They expressed full support for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and rejected what they called groundless accusations aimed at delegitimizing a sovereign government. The alliance also strongly condemned the U.S. economic blockade of Cuba, describing it as harmful to the Cuban people and contrary to international law. ALBA further endorsed a call by Colombia's president for an urgent meeting of regional foreign ministers to establish a joint and sovereign response to threats against Venezuela. The statement concluded that peace in the region must be rooted in social justice, sovereignty, and self-determination. Still on the local scene, a one-day table tennis competition was held at the Sean Stanley Table Tennis Academy as part of the National Properties GECU and ECGC Summer Schools Vacation Program at the Western George Secondary School. In the under-13 category, Joshua Woods emerged champion, defeating Shauna Stanley in the finals 11-8, 11-7. Earlier, Woods beat Tariq Bailey in the semi-finals, while Stanley advanced by defeating Zachary Horn. In the under-16 category, Malikia Bascom claimed the title with an 11-9, 11-7 victory over Kieran Huggins. Bascom had beaten Dinesh Grant in the semi-finals, while Huggins got past Lyndon Cupid. The Summer School's vacation program concludes tomorrow, August 23rd. On to news in the region. The Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados, the CTUSAB, is calling for members of the protective services and nurses to receive double pay for working on public holidays. At a recent press conference, CTUSAB President Ryan Phillips said current compensation practices leave these essential workers at a disadvantage, since they are often offered only time off in lieu, which is difficult to take due to staff shortages and heavy workloads. Phillips noted that Barbados already mandates double time pay for many sectors under existing labor legislation, and argued that nurses and protective services personnel should be no exception. General Secretary Dennis DePazer stressed the importance of these workers to national security and public welfare, warning that inadequate compensation could undermine motivation and dedication. CTUSAB has submitted 3 policy recommendations, including legislating double time pay for all protective services members and nurses on the island's 12 statutory holidays, establishing clear guidelines for when time off or overtime should apply, and embedding these policies in collective agreements. A New York-based Black advocacy group has strongly condemned raids by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) targeting Caribbean immigrants and other communities of color. The Institute of Black World 21st Century (IBW) says the actions amount to racial profiling and a violation of constitutional rights. Ronald Hampton, chairman of IBW's Police Justice and Accountability Task Force, described ICE's approach as Gestapo-like, warning that detaining people based on appearance alone undermines the Fourth Amendment and threatens democracy. Hampton accused U.S. President Donald Trump of using Project 2025 to consolidate power, citing his executive order seizing control of the DC police and deploying the National Guard as an example of authoritarian overreach. Finally, on the international scene, U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has hinted at a possible interest rate cut when the central bank meets next month, though he stopped short of confirming the move. Speaking at the Fed's annual Jackson Hole conference in Wyoming, Powell said the labor market is in what he called a curious balance, with slowing supply and demand for workers increasing downside risks to employment. He also warned that tariffs could push prices higher, creating lasting inflation pressures. Powell emphasized that while current conditions allow the Fed to proceed cautiously, the balance of risks may warrant adjusting policy. His remarks left the door open for a rate cut at the September 16th to 17th meeting, pending key jobs and inflation data due in early September. Markets reacted immediately with U.S. stocks rising, Treasury yields falling, and traders raising the odds of a quarter-point rate cut next month to nearly 90%. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WeFM's Evening News, and we thank you for listening.
People's Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical, skin and body care needs. Located on Grenville Street in Kingstown. They open